Yes, good morning to one and all. I am Professor Khandekar NV. I have completed my ME in electrical power system. I will teach you the electrical power system one, uh, which is having three theory lectures and one tutorial lecture for the first even for the syllabus. Okay, as per the Solapur University, we will see the various syllabus or what are the various units included in the power system one, and we will see the detailed syllabus structure. Unit wise, we will discuss the syllabus. Okay, so we will move in the first slide. So see over here, power system one having the teaching scheme 3 hours per week, and one tutorial class is there, and examination scheme is ESC for the 70 marks, CA is 25 marks, and ISC 30 marks. Okay, we will conduct the two ISC. Out of the two ISC, we will take the average, and we will give you final marks out of 30. Okay, so we will discuss the syllabus structure. Okay, for the first unit. So first unit of electrical power system one is economic aspect of power generation. Into that we will study the review of terms used in power system operation, variable load on power system, peak load, base load, diversity factor, plant utility factor we will also study, and also we will see the maximum demand concept of maximum demand, what is meant by the load curve, what is its significance we will see, and also we will see the load duration curve. Okay, also the from the load duration curve we will solve the some numericals on that, and also on the load curve we will solve the numericals on that. Okay, and also we will see the types of various loads coming on this generating station. For example, the industrial, commercial, agricultural, residential load, and lighting load is also there, we will see in detail. And for this various types of load we will see the load curve, or what is the nature of load curve for this type of load. Okay, we will focus on the selection of generating units for the particular day. Okay, and we will see also the how the units are selected for the purpose of generation scheduling. Okay, next we will see the interconnected grid system. In that we will see the general single line diagram of the interconnected grid system, and also we will see the what is the significance of interconnected grid system, what are the advantages of interconnected grid system, and what are the various types of interconnected grid system, and how its significance in electrical power system we will see. And also we will see the cost of electrical energy, means what, indirectly we will see the per unit charge is taken from the consumer, we will see. And we will see the what is meant by the tariff, and what are the various types of tariff, and how they are different from each other, and how the actual um, nature or significance of a tariff structure. So remember this point once again, I will repeat. uh, Power system 1 having the 3 hours per week with one tutorial class. An examination scheme for this one is what? ESC 70 marks, CA 25 marks, and ISC 30 marks. Okay, so we will move in the first unit, that is what, the economic aspect of power generation. So introduction to power system we will see first of all, because power system 1 or a power system it is so much significance or so much importance in the electrical electrical system. So power system can be defined as the network of generating station, substation, and power lines. A power system may be considered as one of the largest and most expensive system of all man-made system. Okay, तो पावर सिस्टम क्या है? पावर सिस्टम इट इज अ नेटवर्क ऑफ जनरेटिंग स्टेशन. ये क्या है? नेटवर्क ऑफ जनरेटिंग स्टेशन है. और also it will includes the substation and power lines. ओके. तो पावर सिस्टम क्या है? इट इज अ नेटवर्क ऑफ जनरेटिंग स्टेशन है, और सब स्टेशन रहता है उसमें, और ऑल्सो पावर सिस्टम ऑल्सो इंक्लूडेड पावर लाइन्स. ओके. And power system may be considered. Okay, it is the largest and most expensive system. मीन्स क्या है कि पावर सिस्टम पूरे वर्ल्ड में एक मोस्ट एक्सपेंसिव सिस्टम है. मतलब जो कुछ मैनमेड सिस्टम अवेलेबल है वर्ल्ड में, उससे सबसे कॉस्टली एक्सपेंसिव सिस्टम है इलेक्ट्रिकल पावर सिस्टम. ओके. सो ये क्या है? इलेक्ट्रिकल ब्रांच, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग का एक आइडियल ब्रांच है. उसमें क्या किया जाता है एक्चुअली? Which deals with a technology of generation, transmission, and distribution. Okay, so first of all, the DC power system Pearl Street Station in Newark City is installed. Okay, means what? At the time of starting of electrical energy utilization, there is a DC power system is available, and which is installed in New York City in 1882 for the illuminating the companies by Thomas Edison. Okay. In New York City, various companies are there. They are working for the night hours also. So for this purpose, we require the lightning system or the illumination system. For this one, Thomas Edison installed a illuminating for the purpose of illumination street lights, street station in New York City. He has installed. Okay, in 1882. Three-phase AC power system is installed in 1896. Means what? After the 80 years of DC power system installed by the Thomas Edison, three-phase AC power system is installed in 1896. Um, Two generators and transmission line at the rate 25 hertz. Means what? The first three-phase AC power system is installed in 1896 with the two generators and a transmission line. For this one, the working frequency is 25 hertz. Okay, so this is the little bit small introduction of a power system. Okay, included some history and also its definition. Okay, next. So see over here, this is the general block diagram for the power system, or it is the structure of power system. So red indicates the generating stations, blue it is represents the transmission, green color represents the distribution, and black is representing the customer. Okay, so see over here, in a red color there is a generating station, means what? The electrical power can be generated by using the conventional as well as non-conventional method of power generation. Okay, and at the generating station there is a generating substation which will step up the electrical power generated at 11 kV. As we know that in Indian standard, all over the India, the generating station going to generate the electrical power at 11 kV volt at and 50 hertz. Okay, so that 11 kV volt should be step up for the range of 765, 500, 500, 345, 230, and 138 kV or 440 kV. Okay, so for this purpose, at the generating station, there is a generating step-up transformer. It will be going to step up the 11 kV up to the 765 or 440 kV, and it will then transmitted through the transmission line. Okay, so generally the transmission line going to work with the voltage of uh, 440 to 765 or 950 volt kilovolt AC. Okay, so this I'm sliding my arrow pointer on the blue line, blue construction. That is what the transmission line. Okay, so then there is a green color step down transformer is there. Okay, as we know that we require the electrical power at low voltage, means what? The 440 volt three phase system. In case of three phase system we require the 440 volt, and for the single phase 230 volt AC we require. So whenever we want to utilize the electrical power, that should be step down after the primary transmission. Okay, so it will be step down by using a step down transformer at the uh, distribution substation. Okay, and it will be distributed to the uh, various types of consumers. For example, the sub transmission customer. Okay, sub transmission customer means what? This is a large consumers. Okay, they require the electrical power at high voltages near about 26 kilovolt to 68 kilovolt. Okay, so as per their requirement, we are going to step down the electrical energy at 260, 26 kilovolt to 68 kilovolt from the 765 or 440 kV. Okay. Next, primary customer. Primary customer also going to work for the 33, sorry, 13 kV and 4 kV up to 4 kV. Okay, so that should be also step down. Okay, and the primary customers are supplied. Okay, then secondary customer, or we can say that residential, commercial, and agricultural street lighting. For this purpose, electrical power is stepped down up to the 230 volt single phase and 440 volt uh, three phase system. Okay, so this is the general structure of the power system. Okay, see over here, I will repeat in Marathi. Okay, आज आपल्याला माहितीच आहे की आपण इलेक्ट्रिकल पॉवर जनरेशन इन आपल्या भारतामध्ये आपण 11 केव्ही व्होल्ट आणि 50 हर्ट्ज फ्रिक्वेन्सीला जनरेट करतो. ओके, आणि मग ती जनरेट झालेली इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी आपल्याला काय करावी लागते? ट्रान्समिट करावं लागते. कारण जनरेटिंग स्टेशन हे जनरली खूप दूरवर असतात लोड सेंटरपासून. त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला काय करावं लागतं? इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी ही ट्रान्समिट करावी लागते फ्रॉम जनरेटिंग स्टेशन टू कन्झ्युमर. ओके, तर हा ब्ल्यू लाईनमध्ये जे काही इन्स्टॉलेशन दिसतंय तुम्हाला, टॉवर वगैरे दिसत आहेत, तर ते काय आहे? ट्रान्समिशनचा पार्ट आहे. ओके, the ट्रान्समिशन लाईन ही आपली जनरली 11 के व्ही, 440 के व्ही, 765 के व्ही साठी वर्क करते. ओके, ठीक आहे. त्याच्यानंतर आहे बघा सर, ॲट द एंड ऑफ ट्रान्समिशन देर इज अ स्टेप डाऊन ट्रान्सफॉर्मर. ओके, काय होतं की आपल्याला माहिती आहे, आपल्याला ॲक्च्युली इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी ही 440 व्होल्ट थ्री फेज आणि 230 व्होल्ट सिंगल फेज ही आपण ॲक्च्युली यूज करत असतो. पण ॲक्च्युली काय आहे की काही बिग कन्झ्युमर्स असतात की त्यांना इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी हाय व्होल्टेजमध्ये रिक्वायर्ड असते. जनरली त्यांना सब ट्रान्समिशन कस्टमरसाठी 726 किलो व्होल्ट टू 68 किलो व्होल्ट एवढ्या मध्ये त्यांना इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जीची गरज असते. तर त्यावेळेस काय करत असतात, पण हे 765 किंवा 440 के व्ही हे स्टेप डाऊन करून त्यांच्यासाठी 26 के व्ही आणि 68 के व्हीपर्यंत आपण त्यांना स्टेप डाऊन करून इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी सप्लाय करत असतो. प्रायमरी कस्टमरमध्ये बघा, त्यांच्यासाठी 13 के व्ही किंवा 4 के व्ही इतक्या व्होल्टेज रेंजमध्ये त्यांना इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी लागत असते. तर आपण काय करत असतो, त्यांना स्टेप डाऊन करून ती प्रोव्हाइड करत असतो. लास्टली काय आहे? सेकंडरी कस्टमर. सेकंडरी कस्टमरमध्ये बघा, रेसिडेन्शियल लोड येतो, कमर्शियल लोड येतो आणि वी कॅन से दॅट स्ट्रीट लाईटिंग पण येते त्याच्यामध्ये. ठीक आहे, तर त्यासाठी आपल्याला व्होल्टेज लागतं बघा. सिंगल फेजसाठी 230 व्होल्ट प्लस ऑर मायनस 10% आणि 440 व्होल्ट प्लस ऑर मायनस 10% थ्री फेजसाठी. ओके, तर हे आहे जनरल पॉवर सिस्टम स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, ही पण डायग्राममध्ये आपल्याला तेच दिसून येईल की जनरेटिंग स्टेशन, ट्रान्समिशन, distribution. Okay, these are the various stages of the uh, electrical power transmission and distribution. Okay, so see over here a generating station or a power station. Okay, from this one, this electrical energy is first of all a step up, and it is transmitted through the towers. Okay, transmission towers, and it will be transmission substation, and it will be then step down, and it will be transferred to the distribution substation. Distribution substation, it will give the actual electrical energy to the commercial and industrial business. Also it will be provided. Okay, commercial and industrial business, and large customers will be supplied from the distribution substation directly. And then this from the distribution substation we will get the electrical power for the residential consumers, okay, and for the distribution automation devices also, okay. So this is a single line diagram for the power system one. So see over here, the single line diagram. This one is what the generators, okay. So many generators going to generate the electrical power, and it will be step up first of all for the voltage range of 132 to 220, 400 kV or 440 kV, okay. And it will be transmitted by using the transmission towers, okay. So this one is what transmission transformer. It will be going to step up to the 765 kV, and it will be stepped down at this point from 440 kV to 132 kV to 20 kV to 66 kV, okay. This transformer going to step down the electrical energy at 66 kV from the 132 kV or 220 kV or 400 kV, okay. And actually from the transmission, for secondary transmission, the very large consumer are directly supplied. And also from this one the another grid is connected to this point, okay. Sub transmission level is near about at 66 kV, okay. And it is going to supply the large consumers, okay. Large consumers can be connected at the sub transmission level, okay. This one is what the transformer which will be going to step down the this 66 kV into the 33 kV or 11 kV, okay, okay. So this one is the actually primary distribution substation where the actually 66 kV is converted into the 33 kV or 11 kV, okay. From this primary distribution substation, a medium consumers, okay. Medium consumer means what? The small scale industries, commercial buildings, malls and theaters and large hospitals are supplied from this medium consumer, okay. And secondary distribution, distribution means what? The 440 volt, uh, at the range of 440 volt the secondary distribution is going to done, okay. From the secondary substation, the small consumers, for example those who are working for the 400 volt to 230 volt, they are supplied from the small consumers point, okay. This one is what simple power supply system, okay. Then interconnected grid system, okay. Interconnected grid system means what? As we know that several generating stations are there that should be connected in parallel fashion is nothing but the grid system. So what are the several advantages or what are the various advantages of the generating station which is connected in parallel fashion? We have to see, okay. The first advantages of the interconnection grid system means what? Exchange of peak loads means what? As we know that for the various time interval of the day, or we can say that year, in that particular duration the maximum demand or load demand is coming on the station. That maximum demand we can treat it as a peak load or large load, okay. So that load, it will not be can be handled by the single generating station. So if we connect them so many generating stations in parallel fashion in the form of interconnected grid system, you can be able to exchange peak loads, okay. Means what? So 3 4 generating station is connected in the grid fashion or parallel fashion means what? Out of the three generating station, any one of them which is having high efficiency and large generating capacity that can be handle the peak load, okay. So if the load curve of the power station shows a peak demand that is greater than the rated capacity of the single plant, means what? The surplus load can be adjusted by or exchanged by the another generating station. So this one is what the major advantages of the interconnected grid system, okay. And use of older plants, okay. Second advantage of the interconnected grid system is what? We can be able to use the older plants. Okay, as we know that older power plant having their less efficiency because of, as per the time is goes on, the various equipment which is installed inside the plants at having their efficiency going to loosen. Okay, their efficiency going to decrease. So if we interconnect, okay, if we interconnect the so many generating station, and out of that one is older plant, okay, it is possible to use the older plant and less efficient plant to carry the peak loads of short duration. Okay, all the such a plants may be inadequate when used alone. Okay, आपल्याला माहिती आहे की ओल्डर पॉवर प्लांटची इफिशियन्सी कमी झालेली असते. मग आपण ओल्डर पॉवर प्लांट हे आपल्याला जर एकटे एकटे यूज केलं तर आपण ते करू शकत नाही आहेत, कारण त्यांची इफिशियन्सी आणि कॅपॅसिटी पण काय असते, कमी असते. पण जर आपण ओल्डर पॉवर प्लांट इंटरकनेक्टेड ग्रीड सिस्टममध्ये जर कनेक्ट केले तर आपल्याला काय करता येऊ शकतं, ओल्डर पॉवर प्लांट पीक लोड वगैरे हँडल करण्यासाठी किंवा शॉर्ट ड्युरेशनसाठी आपण त्यांना यूज करू शकतो. ओके, येट दे हॅव द सफिशियंट कॅपॅसिटी टू कॅरी द शॉर्ट पीक्स हो ऑफ loads when interconnected with the other modern plants. Okay, therefore, interconnected system gives a direct key to the use of obsolete plants. Obsolete plants means what? Those plants having older, okay, or there is life is very less. Okay. The third advantage of the interconnected grid system, it ensures the economical operation. Okay, as we know that if we interconnect the so many generating station, okay, we can ensure the economical operation, because sharing of load among the station is arranged in such way that more efficient station work continuously throughout the year at the high load factor, and the less efficient plants work for peak load hours only. As we know that you can be able to share the load among the station which is arranged in such way that more efficient plant or more efficient station work continuously throughout the year. Okay, at high load factor means what, we can be able to ensure the economic operation of various generating station. Okay, so this one is what the third advantage of the interconnected grid system. Okay, then fourth, increases diversity factor. As we know that diversity factor means what, okay, so diversity factor can be increased. Okay, the load curves of different interconnected station are generally different, as we know that. Okay, the result is that the maximum demand on the system is much reduced as compared to the sum of individual maximum demand. Okay, on different station. In other words, the diversity factor of the system is improved, thereby increasing the effective capacity of the system. Okay, as we know that maximum demand on the system is much reduced as compared to the sum of individual maximum demand, as we know that. Okay, so diversity factor increased or improved means what, we can increasing the effective capacity of the system. Okay, ठीक आहे. तर डायव्हर्सिटी फॅक्टर आपल्याला आपण इन्क्रीज करू शकतो इंटरकनेक्टेड ग्रिड सिस्टमसाठी. कसं काय, तर तो बाय इन्क्रीजिंग द डायव्हर्सिटी फॅक्टर. आपल्याला माहितीच आहे की मॅक्सिमम डिमांड हे इंडिव्हिज्युअल मॅक्सिमम सम ऑफ इंडिव्हिज्युअल मॅक्सिमम डिमांडपेक्षा हे कमी असतं, बरोबर की नाही. तर मग जर डिनॉमिनेटर कमी असेल न्यूमरेटरपेक्षा, तर आपल्याला त्याचा जो डायव्हर्सिटी फॅक्टर जो आहे तो हाय मिळेल. ठीक आहे, इम्प्रूव्ह असेल. त्याच्यामुळे काय होईल, इफेक्टिव्ह कॅपॅसिटी ऑफ द सिस्टम काय होईल, इन्क्रीज होईल. ठीक आहे, हे आहे फोर्थ ॲडव्हान्टेज. ओके, फिफ्थ ॲडव्हान्टेज काय आहे, रिड्यूस द प्लांट रिझर्व कॅपॅसिटी. ओके, by using the interconnected grid system, we can able to increase the reserve capacity. Sorry, reduce the reserve capacity of the plant. Every power station is required to have a station standby unit for the emergencies. However, when several power stations are interconnected in parallel, The reserve capacity of the system is much reduced. This increases the efficiency of the system. Okay. आपल्याला माहिती आहे की प्रत्येक जनरेटिंग स्टेशनमध्ये एक स्टँड बाय युनिट असतं फॉर द इमर्जन्सी पर्पज. कशासाठी? फॉर द इमर्जन्सी पर्पज. स्टँड बाय युनिट म्हणजे फॉर द बॅकअप पर्पज. ओके. मग जर आपण सेव्हरल पॉवर स्टेशन जर इंटरकनेक्ट केले इन पॅरलल फॅशन तर काय होईल आपल्याला? रिझर्व कॅपॅसिटी ऑफ द पर्टिक्युलर प्लांट काय होईल? रिड्यूस होईल. ओके. Reserve capacity of the system is much reduced. Okay, this is increases the efficiency of the system. So reserve capacity of the plant should be minimum, thereby we can increase the efficiency of the system. Okay, so see over here the components of electrical power system. uh, if we want to study the power system means what we must know the what are the various component or what are the various constituent parts of the power system. So see over here, the first and most important component or constituents parts of the power system is the generators. Okay, generators constituent part म्हणजे काय किंवा components of the power system म्हणजे काय तर कोणते कोणते त्याच्यामध्ये इक्विपमेंट असतात. ओके, फर्स्ट आहे जनरेटर्स. जनरेटर कसं आहे? खूप इम्पॉर्टंट पॉवर सिस्टम आहे चा पार्ट आहे किंवा कॉम्पोनंट आहे कारण जनरेटिंग स्टेशन दीज आर द heart of electrical power system. Okay, so generators, it may be in DC generators or AC generators. Okay, generally AC generators are known as alternators. More correct, the synchronous generator are nothing but the alternators, which will going to generate the electrical power at 11 kV to 220 kV AC and at 50 hertz. Okay, so this one is the generators. Transformer, transformer voltage level conversion without changing frequency and power. Okay, so what is the role of the transformer in the electrical and power system? As we know that the transformer going to change the level of electrical energy with keeping constant electrical frequency. Okay, means what? We can change the electrical energy level by changing the voltage level from 11 kV to 220 kV, 220 kV to 132 kV, or 110 kV to 11 kV, 11 kV to 415 volt. Okay, so by using different types of transformer we can able to convert the electrical energy for the different voltage levels by keeping the frequency and power constant. Okay, the next important component or constituents parts of electrical power system is substation. Okay, so substation, it is the control center for the distribution as well as transmission network. Okay, in case of the controlling and analyzing of electrical energy flow, we have to keep the monitoring of various parameters of electrical energy. For example, the power quality means what it will include is harmonics, um harmonics content, power factor, frequency, voltage level, current, and various component. So that should be controlled and that should be monitored properly in order to transfer the electrical energy without any interruption or reliable transfer of electrical energy. We required to control and monitor the various electrical parameters, so that can be controlled and monitored at the one point in a power system that is treated as a substation. Okay, next part of the electrical power system is or component is electrical load. As we know that electrical loads are nothing but the those devices or apparatus or instrument or utensils going to consume the electrical energy, that is nothing but the electrical loads. For example, we know that motors, household appliances, lightings, these are the various electrical loads. Okay, and some mechanical loads also going to consume the electrical energy. For example, the fans, flooring machines, blowers, etc. Okay, so remember this part, the various load is also a component of electrical power system. And next, transmission and distribution lines. Okay, this is the most important part of the electrical power system, transmission and distribution line. This is what transmission is nothing but the artery of electrical power system, and distribution line is nothing but the veins of electrical power system. Artery means what? It is the, as we know that biological structure of the human beings, artery going to uh, carry the blood with the oxygen, and the veins are going to also carry the blood in a human body without oxygen, okay, towards the heart. Means what? Transmission and distribution, these are the artery and veins of our electrical power system. So it is very important, because of generators is act as a heart of our electrical power system. So see over here, various transmission and distribution voltage levels. Transmission networks, which is generally extra high voltage AC or high voltage DC, HVDC of, okay, it will operates at 765 kV or 400 kV or 220 kV or 132 kV or 1200 kV AC, okay. And for the HVDC operation, it is plus or minus 500 kV DC, okay. So remember this point, transmission network work for the extra high voltage or a high voltage DC in the range of 765 kV, 400 kV to 20 kV AC, and plus or minus 500 kilovolt DC, okay. Some transmission network operates for the 132 kV by 110 kV, okay, 66 kV or 33 kV AC, and distribution network for the primary side 11 kV. As we know that distribution network at the primary side, which will going to dealing with 11 kV volt, okay, and the secondary side is means what, up to the consumer side, it will be work for the 415 volt 4 wire AC household to 30 volt 50 hertz single phase, okay. 415 volt, which is dealing with for the 4 wires AC, and for the household purposes it will be a 230 volt 50 hertz 2 wire single phase system, okay. So this one is also a part of power system. So next, we will see the what are the various terminologies or the terms used in electrical power system. So what are the different power system terms? We have to summarize and we have to study in detail mode. Okay, because of while studying the any science or the any, we can say that. Before studying the anything, we have to study the what are the various terminologies used in that particular case. So first one is what? Connected load. It is the first terms used in electrical power system. So connected load. So connected load means what? It is the sum of continuous rating of entire load consuming the apparatus connected to the system. Okay. Connected load means what? uh, Suppose we will take the example for our room, okay. In our room we know that we are going to using the fan, AC, tube light, yes or no. And also we will connect sometimes battery chargers like the phone chargers and all. So if we take the addition of continuous rating of all the equipments, okay, for that particular room is nothing but the connected load of that particular room. Means what? Suppose our tube light is for the 60 watt, uh, suppose condensate lamp is for the 80 watt, okay. And AC, suppose we can consider 230 or 250 watt, like that. If we make the addition of these ratings, we will get the connected load for that particular room, okay. Maximum demand, this is the second terms used in an electrical power system, okay. So maximum demand means what? It is it is the greatest of all the demands that have occurred during a given period. Means what? Suppose for a day we will consider a particular duration from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, for the day. Okay. So maximum demand means what? For a particular given period, if we observe the maximum load or maximum demand of electrical energy, that is treated as a maximum demand. Okay, suppose morning 6 a.m. to evening 6 p.m. Okay, at the evening in a summer season, you want to operate the fans, AC, coolers. Okay, so at afternoon 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. we can say that we are going to use the uh, large electrical energy. Okay, means what, we run the freeze, fans, AC, uh, cooler. Okay, so in that particular duration, the maximum electrical energy is consumed. Okay, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, so this one is what, the peak demand period. Okay, and the maximum demand during that period is nothing but the, or maximum load during that period is nothing but the maximum demand. Okay, so next part, or the next terms used in the electrical power system is what, the demand factor. This is the ratio of the peak demand to the connected load. As we know that the demand factor, it is the ratio of maximum demand to connected load for the given time period. Okay, so connected load is greater than that of the maximum demand. That's why the demand factor is always less than the 1. Okay, so we can find out a percentage demand factor by multiplying with 100. Okay, so maximum demand, it is a maximum load but for the particular time period. Okay, but connected load is what, it is a sum of continuous rating of all the equipments. So that's why connected load is greater than that of the maximum demand. That's why demand factor is always less than 1. Okay, so today we will stop over here. We will see the next part in next, okay, next lecture. Thank you for one and all. Okay, thank you.